Alright. What the hell's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We've got Rogue in the top right side of the map. It's the Esports World Cup, and he'll be facing off here against Cure. Best of 5 here in the group stage. And it is, of course, a very important match. Rogue, a pretty good ZVT player, who really, I feel like on paper should dominate Cure, and yet Cure actually matches up quite well against him, because Rogue doesn't play a very fast, down and dirty, kind of backstabby style, which is generally where Cure used to struggle. But also, Cure has just gotten so much better at TVZ recently as well, taking maps off Serral consistently, something he used to really struggle to take even single maps off of Serral. And yeah, Cure is just kind of, he's at the top of his game recently. He's been looking very, very powerful. For Rogue, he has moments of utter brilliance in this matchup, but if there's one thing that's plagued Rogue, it's he is not mechanically clutch enough, I think, to keep up in ZVT with the top dogs at times. There are times where he plays a series, smashes a Beyond or someone, and you go, damn, what a god of the game. But there's quite a few series where he has a really good opening and then fails to capitalize on it. You know, specifically, there's things like up to 70 drones by 5.5 minutes, and then just like he gets hit by like multi-prong pressure and is just not quite good enough at splitting his units up, and the game kind of snowballs out of control. ZVT is just a faster paced than any other matchup, I feel like, in terms of the mid game, just back and forth. There is so much going on, and Terran players especially, it's kind of jolting to play against the top Terran who will get in your face and hit you here, there, and everywhere. So we'll see what Rogue's form is like and whether or not he can keep up. It does feel like, you know, you'd think, well, what are you talking about, Pig? You've said many times Cure isn't really that fast of a player. And yeah, for sure. But if he's the one dictating some 2 or 3 prong pressure, he can still, you know, it's not like he's incapable of sending a drop in your main, a lib in your natural, and then running some stuff in the third at the same time. And we'll see how it goes. Rogue's gone for what appeared to be a 15-15 opening. 15 hatchery, 15 pool. Just 2 workers on gas to start. Oh, he's going to rally a third one on there pretty early, but he's got 3 workers on minerals on that natural. Now you can see you don't need to build Zerglings here with the 15-15. You just need to be ready to do a Spore trick. Running towards the Reaper was a little odd. Don't normally see that. But just one Spore trick, and that is super good defense there for Rogue as he goes for the double inject and straight to 4 queens. So it's going to be pretty typical. The goal with this style is you want to be able to saturate this natural expansion super quickly, preferably by 3 minutes 10. You want those workers on there. Welcome, Wabu, watching live. You're watching the Wings of Liberty Nightmare playthrough. Nice. I just finished the Heart of the Swarm one. We'll put up the final episode of that. I guess I finished it a while back, but obviously I've been busy. We'll put that one up in probably a few days. Reaper bouncing around. Okay, Lair, hello. All right, Lair straight after that Queen. And 310, as you can see, natural, almost saturated with a bunch of drones about to pop out, and that is full up, or very close to full up on those minerals early on. So very good play here by Rogue. Roach Warren's pretty standard at this stage, and a second gas usually goes down as well. But looks like he's just kind of gradually working his way forward, wants to prioritize his minerals since he doesn't have that early third. And I wonder how quickly Rogue goes for this third base. Also, does he just play this like the Infestor style that's caught on? So fascinating, because I spent most of last year playing this opening into fast Infestors. It's a very cool build, but it's something which Serral was doing for a long time before that, well, slightly different variations, but I really feel like you got to look at, was it all of 2024 where Serral was doing 15-15 openings? I feel like it was the start of 2024 when he started experimenting with those. And it just feels like in 2025, a lot of the Zergs have started using it, but it's like all the Terrans have had a year of practicing against Serral doing the same thing. So Serral, as always, ahead of the meta. A little bit ahead of the innovation game. Does spot that layer finishing. Got 2 workers on this second gas, third and fourth gas up as well. Evo chambers on the way in the front so he can wall off. And oh, a little bit of a lag spike there. Sorry. Not sure why that happened. Third hatchery's coming in at an okay time. Looks like that started just before 4 minutes. And we're going to have a pretty early Overseer scout. Comes in and sees, of course, Q's just gone Heli and Banshee into extra barracks. Overseer knows it is cloaked Banshees. You often want to skip Spore Crawlers if you can. But he builds one in both bases. Okay, I was thinking the natural would be the one where you'd skip the Spore Crawler. Because you're kind of low on economy with this build order, you do have to be very, very technical in terms of where you put your resources. You know, a lot of the time, like even actually building this many Overlords, slight inefficiency there for Rogue. Because otherwise, Terran's going to be ahead of us in economy. You have to be efficient with this style. I do think Banshees is one of the better openings to play against because you've got such a fast lair, which means you should have a fast Overseer. And yes, he does, but it's in the main. It's not over there with his queens at that third base. Now he's sending it over there. Still no drones rallying to this third. 9 roaches moving across the map. If they can get over there without the Banshees seeing them. Second Banshees on the left side. If these Banshees are north on the wrong side of the map, that would be huge. But he sees some roaches coming out. That might tell him to send the Banshees home. He needs these Banshees at home, because if these roaches were to catch him off and get up that natural with only a few Marines and Hellions to defend, it would have been massive. 2 Hellions. Oh, 1 Hellion does go down. 2 more very damaged. Third base droning very nicely. And I think if Rogue can get a 4th base up, that'd be great. I wonder how many Infestors he's going to opt for here. Carapace just now starting at 550. That's kind of late for this build. We have seen Shin start that Carapace sometimes at like before 5 minutes, but it's not bad. When SCV goes down, these roaches running in. Really nice roach attack here for Rogue. He's droning hard behind it. I love this attack. He's getting some really good damage. Lots of Marines and Hellions will go down. There's 3 roaches on the natural, but there's a siege tank there. These roaches going to pick off a couple of these SCVs, but they will have to now back away. 4 SCVs, a bunch of Marines and Hellions. Mining time for just 5 roaches. Fantastic play for Rogue, who's now got 3 Infestors. Now, those Infestors are a bit delayed. The earlier you get those, the faster they regen energy, and the more effective that is. He's going straight for Hive. And one has to wonder, is this just an Ultra build? Because he's gone 4 Infestors. Wow, I much prefer the high Infestor count. And Rogue is the first pro player I've seen to rush 4 Infestors. This is incredible. That's really cool. Problem is, you're so gas-starved with this build. Is that going to be an okay way to play? He's only got 4 queens as well, 3 of which are on anti-Banshee defense. I think against 2 Banshees, you should absolutely have gone 5 or 6 queens, but he's going to be missing injects because of this. His queens need to get back up there. He's making a few roaches and ravagers. Ling speed's on the way. Needs that melee upgrade started. There we go. And it's all on a timer. He has to get ultras out before QS push comes, because he's just got so few units. Don't get me wrong, this works so well for Rogue if he can scare him with some good fungals, catch some Marines with some fungal bile, that sort of stuff. But he's got to be concerned because there are 3 more barracks on the way, which is an 8 barracks build. This is not surprising. Kua does this every single ZVT. Kua is one of the most predictable Terran players. It is so impressive that he wins as much as he does. Most players playing as predictably as he does would not be able to, but Kua is solid. His 8 racks is not as all in as other players. Ultra Cavern's gone down at 730. Banshee's coming in. Where are those queens? No Spore on this base. Oh, no, Rogue! Rogue! What are you doing? No! Oh, my God. How did he not notice this? They're not even cloaked. What was that? What were you looking at? I'm sorry. I cannot fathom what we just witnessed. Those Banshees came in uncloaked, just walked in and killed all of his Infestors. 2 Infestors down. 2 of them had to use all their energy. Now he's got to build 3 more, which means he's not going to have enough gas to build Ultras. He's lost 6 drones as well. That was a disaster. Sitting on only 4 queens is beyond greedy, by the way. This is ridiculous. Against a guy who's built 2 cloaked Banshees, you want to be at least on 5, preferably 6 queens. Then you can keep injecting while having 3 queens, chasing those Banshees away. But this is a big slip up for Rogue, and you know, it's funny, I was analyzing this style of Infestors that's kind of new, that Shin is pretty good at, Serral's incredibly good at, most players suck at. Raynor has a really cool version of it that's like basically a super streamlined and optimized Ultra Rush. And I was saying, I don't think Solar is good enough to play the Infestor build in EWC because he doesn't have enough experience with it. Rogue here is playing it one of the first times I've seen Rogue play it. He looks okay, but just not that tight and practiced. And this is one of the things I was kind of saying in the weeks leading up to this tournament is you've got this new style that shows promise. None of these guys have experience playing it, these Zerg players. I don't know if they're going to be able to play this Infestor style. They've got, you know, 15 years playing Banelings every game. Another Infestor goes down completely unnecessarily. Great Ling run by on the natural, but it's not going to get through. The rally is there. I mean, this is a huge issue right now for Rogue. He needs those Ultras out, but he's way down in supply. This has not been a good game for him so far in Cure. Look at how big his army supply is. Fungal comes down with some bios to try to slow down the advance. Nicely done, but Magnus Plating's not ready, and he's not able to cut off the reinforcement. A few Lings running in the third will be massive. That's really going to help. I think he's got to give this base up and rotate to the left side. Oh, great Fungal. Good Fungal there. Does pull back. He's got to try and get away. He doesn't have any transfuse, so he can't really heal these Ultras because his economy is so low. Lings do clear out 15 workers in the third base. That is a 50 worker Terran. Rogue did not run his drones in time, but Splits a bunch of Ling Ultra across the map, which is really good. These Banshees going to pay dividends. As long as Kua leaves those Banshees at home, they'll eventually clean everything up. But he sends them forwards on the map. Bit of F2 coming out of Kua. Bit of that select all army key. I think he realizes if he gets ramp control over here with siege tanks, it spells disaster for the Zerg. Rogue needs to get rid of that tank, but the tank doesn't siege. Just dodges the biles, walks away. All the depots going down in the third. Kua very much a little bit ham-fisted in this moment of excitement. He's got victory within his grasp, but he's got to finish this off. Stims quite a big pack of bio forward. Fungal lands, but doesn't land the biles. Very hard to land biles on units, even when they are fungal growthed. Tanks moving forward. Bio as well going for a big spready. Banshees are there. Marine Marauder trying to gather on the front. Tank does go down. Biles landing on some of the medevacs. Oh, okay, big biofungals landing, but it just feels like Kua might... Yeah, he's just no ultras left. No ultras left. There's no firepower. Ravagers on their own cannot hold on against this line. Lovely biles, but Kua just has too many units, mate. Just a good decisive 8-racks there, and some unforced errors from Rogue. I have to go back and look at where his camera was at this point. I know it shows on the minimap, but I wasn't looking at it at the time. And were they actually cloaked the whole time? I thought they weren't. Maybe they were. Oh, they were cloaked. But he did get an attack warning there, didn't he? Because his creep tumor went down. All right, so we're watching that again, guys. Okay, so this is Rogue's camera. He spreads that creep. That's about to get killed there. Does he get an attack warning? He does. He looks over there, but he's like, oh, he doesn't realize. He doesn't realize what's happening because it's cloaked. Okay, so they were cloaked. That's my fault, guys. He was actually cloaked, but he's just very confused about what's happening. Yeah. There's I mean, it's a huge screw up from Rogue. Getting confused like that, that's very bad. That's really bad. He knew there was cloaked Banshees on the map, but it seemed like he kept looking at where the alert came from and going, huh, what happened? Huh, what happened? And he's just... The cloaked Banshees were like just off screen kind of thing. Oh, that's really unfortunate. If that didn't happen, I think this is actually a huge amount of disruption damage. I think otherwise Rogue might have even been able to start ambushing him with fungal bile combos all the way over here. And especially if he killed these Banshees, oh, what a game changer that would have been for his run by potential. Great game one for Kua though. Just very clean, very decisive. All right, guys. We got Rogue in the top left side of the map. That scoreboard's wrong. Let me fix that one. Yeah, I like the style. I don't think it was bad really until that moment happened. I think his roach attack was excellent, but just like a real minimalistic, like it was like 10-12 roaches with roach speed, comes in from two sides, hides it really well. I think that was such a nice timing to attack. I mean, good hats off to Kua for defending it as well, but you could tell there's some things going really well for Rogue, but just getting a little bit confused in the high pressure moment there. And one's got to wonder as well about like tournament setting. You're playing away from home, your setup's slightly different. Is there just something with the audio wasn't quite right? I've had anyone who's competed at a lot of tournaments, they can tell you how sometimes a setup just isn't quite right. And you're not sure what it is. You could go in your sound menu and it's like the reverb is on. And that's not normally on at home, but you like forgot to double check your sound settings or something. And this is, most players don't do it. I used to, when I competed, have a printout. Literally, I had like a sheet with a screenshot of my settings. That's so funny that I had a sheet of paper with it. That's how old I am. I'm like, why didn't I just have a picture on my smartphone? I don't know. I guess because I'd changed phones and forget to have the picture, and I didn't really use Google Drive back then and stuff. But point is, I would have a picture of all of my settings exactly, because there's all these obscure settings you don't even think about. But then if they're off, you're like, oh, I've got no error sounds, but I have error sounds on when an order doesn't go through at home. It can just throw off your kind of understanding of what's happening in the game. There's these weird little settings. So maybe something like that as well for Rogue, not sure. Looks like a blind 1-rax expand, very standard for this matchup if you're not worried about crazy shenanigans at the start. And it looks like a 15-15 once again for Rogue. One of the better build orders for this matchup. I know some people say it's kind of weak because you don't have Ling speed against like 2-rax Reaper or 3-rax Reaper. I don't think it really matters in that scenario. And well, interestingly, he still hasn't taken the gas. So this is actually the much quicker third hatchery version of the build. This is the one which Lambo taught Harstem. And for some reason, Rogue has changed his mind about it. I think because he thought there was no command center. For those who don't know, Rogue is always paranoid about getting proxy barracks. So he thought he was getting proxy barracks for a second because he didn't notice the Reaper coming out. And then he realized, oh wait, there is a Reaper coming into my Overlord vision. Quick, go back, build the third base. 2 Marines are out. That's in case 2 Zerglings come in. The reason why Zerg players off of 15-15 don't build 2 Zerglings and sneak around the Reaper anymore is because most Terrans started building 2 Marines every game. At the start, yes, it slows down the Hellion production slightly, but that's not that big of a deal. And 2 Marines easily shuts down the 2 Zerglings, especially with the SCV micro. Top Terrans are just so good. I remember when we first started using 15-15, getting to kill the SCV, building the command center every single game just felt so good. But long gone are those days. See this swap over. Is it 2-1-1? This looks like we're going to see, or maybe even an old school CC first. Oh, nope, second factory. Okay. Quick second gas here into second factory after that third command center. Well, Roach Horn's good against this. The thing is, once the Cyclones come, obviously the Roaches stop the Hellions better than Zerglings do, but once Cyclones come out, you really need to get Roach speed as quickly as possible so that the faster Rogue realizes what's happening and gets a lair and Roach speed, the better. Problem, he's rushed to third base. Builds that rush third bases naturally tend to stay on hatchery tech longer while they're looking to use all that extra lava, drone up their minerals harder, and delay their tech. And delayed tech is actually quite weak against the was going to be a 3 factory, 3 command center build. Now, 3 command center into the battle mech. I remember Gumiho used to do this a lot back in the day. It is vulnerable. There are timing attacks that can get it. Zerg needs to realize what's happening. I did see there was you know, SC Historian does some really good interviews, but he did one, he always kind of clickbaits the title with like a slightly controversial quote or whatever, obviously with no context because it's just a quote. And there was one like with Lambo where he said Cyclone patch definitely influenced the outcomes at EWC. And it was funny. I saw, you know, the Reddit thread of people going, "Oh yeah, good to see I'm not the only sore loser," and like kind of giving Lambo a hard time. And like, I mean, it's you know, you're talking about a German guy. I don't know if you guys have ever met Germans. They're kind of not full of shit generally. The way, like, you know, it's more common, for instance, in Australian or American culture for us to like say things that sound nicer. But I don't know if you guys have heard a Hero Marine or a Lambo or a Showtime interview. They'd be like, "But why would I lie? But it is just the truth that the games were affected this way. I'm not saying Sir would not have done so well, or this other player, or whatnot. I do not think that the Cyclones are the only reason. I just said it changed the outcome of some games. Is this an incorrect and non-factual statement?" And you guys have got to understand, you know, when you that's literally all Lambo's saying, and it's absolutely correct. Hold on, Hellions, big dive. Bunch of drones do go down. 7 drones? Was that 3 Hellions? I think that's a decent trade for Cure. Not bad at all. Here come those Cyclones, guys. Magfield's almost done. Cyclones coming out soon. Really good map control for Cure as well. He sees everything on this map, and that's one of the things you can do. Notice, like, why has the Terran got all the map control? Why? Because there's no link speed, guys. Got that Overlord earlier as well. Like, there's no link speed on this map, which means, you know, Zerg's kind of pinned back for a while. Double upgrades, Roach speed, Hydrodent, Infestation Pit, and link speed all coming in now. This is one of these games where Rogue's had an excellent opening. I have noticed in the past, Rogue is very vulnerable in these sorts of games because he just doesn't build enough army sometimes. He thinks, "Oh, I'm ahead. I can get further ahead." And sometimes he pushes it a bit too much. I really want to see him just build nothing but Overlords and Roaches for the next minute. While he can tech to Hive as well. But I really feel like he's got to mass Roaches because this Cyclone, I mean, there's already 4 Cyclones. He's only got 8 Roaches. It's a very scary moment because once these Cyclones get momentum, you need to get an overwhelming mass of Roaches to try and flank around them and see what you can deal with it. Hellions and Cyclones hanging out. All right. Overseer there in the natural. Got +1 vehicle plating coming in. Hive about halfway done. Whoa, Starport coming in. Okay, what do you guys think the Starport... Do you think he just starts building Banshees and plays full battle mech? Or is he going to go Libs, maybe? Oh, breaking the rocks, trying to limit the movement. Rogue's on 75 workers, but he's not transferred. He's on 3 oversaturated bases. Hasn't transferred to his 4th, and he hasn't taken the gases there either. He's also got a Nidus Worm and Tunneling Claws and Burrow coming up. You can't possibly support this amount of tech on 3 base gas. Rogue, what's he doing, guys? I'm very confused by Rogue's strategy right now. It looks like he's going to try and do like a mass roach or mass roach hydronitis. He's got an overlord on the right side. Oh, that's what he's going to... Okay, yeah, he's banking on this. He's saying, screw it, I got to get damage done with the roaches to shut you down. And this is the timing. Usually when you're up about 40 to 50 supply in the mid game, this could be really good. But Cure with really good double map control. One squad on the right, one squad on the left. Nidus Worm goes up in the main base. That could be huge. That could be really huge. Cure doesn't notice it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. If he does manual lock-ons, he can deal with it. If he does manual lock-ons, he can deal with it. He's not locking on. He's not locking on. He's not locking on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this could be a real problem. This could be a real problem. He's letting the roaches pop inside that main base. These cyclones are going down. One cyclone does already fall. He's going for a Raven. That's what the starport was for. Cyclones are coming back. Their ability to lock on a little bit faster after each one finishes is going to help him out a little bit here. Roaches in the main. He's got roaches on the third as well. Cyclone goes down. Orbital lifts. SCVs do start to get sniped there. Sorry for the bad observing. Should have used the click on the minimap for that one. Raven actually helps a lot against these tunneling claw roaches, which otherwise would have been an absolute menace to deal with. That Raven is actually perfectly timed. Otherwise, these tunneling claw roaches would have been such a problem. One roach does go in at the third base, but the Raven's there. And you know what? Shuts it down without as many problems as I thought. I do still think this is a huge mistake that Rogue hasn't had gases on his fourth going this whole time. But, hey, he's on 78 drones now. He's going to transfer onto those gases. Probably take a fifth on the left in the near future as well. He's going Mass Roach Hydra. He's got a Hive up. Where are the Vipers, one has to wonder. I mean, I know Vipers aren't like the hard counter to the Cyclone, but being able to abduct them, they're still expensive units that take a while to build up. Would be nice. Fourth base trying to erect into a planetary. Oh, he's already heading back this way, though. It's going to be easy for him to react. Look at that. SCVs pull away. Mass Cyclone comes in. Easy cleanup here. Then again, Tunneling Claw Roach does allow him to split up. Really well played there. And Rogue... Ah, the Raven, man. That Raven's actually got such good value. Do you guys think he knew that he was going to go Tunneling Claws? It feels like it was just like such a perfect... Yes, it's good just for creep spread, but it felt like he knew that Rogue was going to play Tunneling Claws. I think Rogue must have done this to him before when he plays Mech, where he knows... And we've seen quite a few players do Tunneling Claws versus Mech lately, so that actually makes a ton of sense that the Raven is specifically there for that purpose. Now, it's still just Mass Cyclone, which is kind of silly. No tanks, nothing like that. Nothing but Mass Cyclone. If you're both maxed out, the Mass Cyclone army is going to beat just about anything Zerg has, unless you've got Lurkers and Spellcasters. Link's getting in there, trying to get on top. They will get rid of some of the SCV mining time. They're going to have to run away. It's a Roach Hydra army, but not many of them. Tries to abduct here. Yeah, he takes out one unit, but it's a small Roach Hydra army. Generally speaking, anti-armor missile comes down. Ravens are trying to come forward. Blinding Cloud goes down, but most of those Cyclones' attack is dealt with their regular lock-on spell rather than their regular attack. The Cyclones here are getting pushed against the wall, but they're doing so much damage in the process, and it looks like he's just barely going to win this fight out. And if he can win the fight out, lock onto the hatchery, take it down, and then leave, that's going to be massive. And look at that. Locks onto the hatchery. Rogue's going to lose that one. He has to tap out. Oh, what a fascinating game. I think this was one of these games where Rogue had a great position when he realized it was Mech, right? Like, if we go to 6.5 minutes or so, dude, he's been on 76 drones for a while. Like, this is such a sick economy. It's a great Hive timing. So my question would be, guys, I mean, so here's my instincts tell me two things at this point, because I was very surprised when I said, what is Rogue doing? And I'm really curious what everyone else's thoughts are in the comments as well. But so my instincts say at this point, you got very limited gas income. All you want to do is build roaches. Don't make Ling Speed. Don't make Burrow. Don't make Tunneling Claws. And then you want to basically secure your fourth and get these gases up. You've already got enough drones to transfer 10 drones. You can transfer like 7 drones from that base, 2 drones from this base, a drone from this base over there. That can mine the gases there, start banking up gas. And then when Hive finishes, which is not far away at all, it's like a minute away. You can have it done at 7.5 minutes. Just make like 4 Vipers. And then you can start just like abducting masses of Cyclones with your Roach Hydra. And then you can, you know, go Lurkers, go Ling Speed, add other things. I just don't think Tunneling Claws or Nidus was super necessary. The other option is just go for a straight up like mass roach all in, where half your roaches go down the left side, half your roaches go down the right, try to sandwich the army at some point. Cure did a really good job with map vision though to make it hard to do that, so hats off to Cure for setting everything up so well. But it just felt like at this stage, by going Ling Speed, Burrow, and Tunneling Claws, you don't have any gas to use your Hive, right? You don't have gas to continue your upgrades. So like, it just felt like it was a little too convoluted. Rogue, I think he did too much at once off too little economy. And yeah, I think he should have probably been bullying these guys back a bit. He has Roach Speed. I don't see why the Roaches haven't already split around this right side, and if the Cyclones move to deal with it, the other guys go down the left while that side runs back. I feel like he could have been out there a bit earlier, getting map control, while just heading to Mass Viper. I think that's a better plan. You guys let me know what you think, but I do think he overplayed a bit too much tech at once, all at the same time. You just can't afford everything at once. Really well played by Kua, though. It does get the Mass Cyclone victory in Game 2. All right, guys. Rogue in the top right side of the map, having a hard time in this series. I don't think there's anything on paper that stops him from doing a little bit better here against Kua. It just feels like Kua has a little bit more confidence right now in the matchup. And he's really come into his own. I mean, the fact that he's just 8-raxing most games and smashing with it is great, but we saw in that last game. Mix it up a little bit. Also, he's noticed that Rogue is going 15-15 every game. Remember, we said 2 or 3x Reaper could give him trouble because he doesn't have the early gas filling speed. Well, guess what? Q is going to go for that 2x Reaper by the looks of it this game. As he... The frig? 2x Marine? What? What the hell? This is many years ago, before Uthermal's YouTube was popular. His original version of the what's the chess build, the chess opening that's really dumb. What's it called, guys? Because I know he retconned it to something else, but this is what the original version of that build was: two barracks Marine into just expanding and playing a normal thing. Bomb Cloud, yeah. Bomb Cloud. This is what the original Bomb Cloud was just 2 racks Marine opening, do a little bit of pressure, and then just do a normal, like, expand behind it. But it would break people's brains because they would always assume that it's like there's some sort of crazy one base all in. And then when you just go into a normal build order after opening up with a few Marines, it's such a mind game. Now, keep in mind, Rogue changed it up. He went hatch gas pool this game, so he's going to have a faster link speed, number 1. Number 2, he's paranoid about 2 racks proxy. So he's actually sent both Overlords scouting for proxies, which means he has no vision. So he doesn't know it's a 2 racks Marine, number 1. But that's actually probably good for him because Kua was hoping probably to catch the Overlord flying in and then getting a free kill with his first 3 Marines. He's probably not going to be able to get that. He might be able to roam the map and find one of these Overlords, but it's going to be a little bit more delayed before he can find that kill. Now you can see the command center normally goes down about 1:38, is going to be down at about 2:08, so that's a 30-second delay on the expand. That is not a cheap opening. That being said, he's already got a gas there, and he could use these barracks to start building add-ons, get a factory, and go for all sorts of interesting things. Also, oh, this leads into the bunker push. Oh, he's going to sneak around the map and build a bunker here. And guess what? The Overlords aren't going to see it. The Overlords aren't going to see it. Oh, Q, you sneaky lad. 5 Marines in an SCV. 6th Marine at home. And now he goes for add-ons. Oh my gosh. And then he starts a 3rd barracks behind it. Oh, man. Yeah, and you let the bunker get like halfway built before you show the Marines. This Overlord's going to scout it too late. Oh, this is such a dirty build. I mean, I think as Rogue, you just cancel the 3rd. You just send a drone down here, cancel this 3rd once you start getting shot. I think you can't fight it. Like, you just can't. Because you've spent all your lava on drones. And link speed, yes, it'll finish. I mean, I guess you could pull... How many queens do we have? 3. He'll have a 3rd queen. He could pull his queens and try to fight it, but I actually think canceling is fine. Yeah. I think as long as you don't overcommit to it, that's fine. Because look, his expansion's only just coming up for Kua. There's 4 barracks here. Oh, he got a creep tumor snipe. Okay, killed the creep tumor. Nicely done. He's going to get an Overlord as well. Not bad, not bad. Ling's going to go after the SCV. Overlord does go down. Okay, so Kua finding some damage. You can't lose this base, though. Oh, no. And he's building 16 Zerglings, which is probably more than he needs. Dude, 200 hit points, 175, 150 hit points, 125, 100 hit points, 1. Okay, there we go. Does try to fight the Zerglings. The Zerglings do save it. And Rogue's going to go for an all-in. He's going for a Baneling Nest right now. Oh, Rogue is so shook, guys. Rogue is so shook right now. He's going to go for a Bane bust. He should click on this tech lab. If he just clicks all of his lings on this tech lab, he can kill it fast enough to deny stim. But he's going to need to commit, not with these lings, but when the other lings arrive. He needs to bring these lings and just target stim. I think he has to do that if he wants this to work. Oh, 2 Marines for free. Looks like a bit of a miss rally there. You can see they were blocked by the other Marines from spawning. Okay, he's not going to go for stim. He's got 20 seconds. Banes are about to morph. Rogue going all in here. He's down 0-2, and he says, screw this. My build order's been messed up. I am not having any of it. Thinks about going for that stim. Doesn't end up doing it. Oh my gosh, Kua getting baited. Kua thinking about going out there right now. Rogue's being a little sus, but oh, he's going to go for it. Okay, Rogue gets us surrounded these Marines on the outside. That's an excellent start, but he doesn't have any Banelings. That's so few Banelings. That's not enough to blow up the wall. He needs to make more Banelings right now. Okay, the Banes are going to get in. The Banes are going to get in. He's got to get up the ramp, but he doesn't have enough Banes. He's got to pull back. Rogue has to pull back. Rogue has to pull back. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Because the problem is he doesn't have any Banes. 5 Banes is not enough. You can't do this with only 5 Banelings. Look at that wall off. Oh, my lord. Excellent play by Q here. Great crisis management. And this is a really sad series for Rogue, guys. I needed to see what happened here. I do like to put a lot of highlight series up on my channel. I had to see what happened in this in Rogue series in this tournament, because watching from home, what I could watch live, I didn't see a single Rogue series, and I was like, what happened to Rogue in this tournament? I think this might be an elimination match. I don't know. I'll have to check after this one. So when this game finishes, I'll let you guys know if this was an elimination match or not. But what a sad way to go out if so. It just really wasn't Rogue's day. I don't know if he was sick or just not feeling it, but I mean, just from the moment those Banshees got those Infestors at the start of the series, it felt like it set Rogue down a tilt train. And I mean, surely you can't come back from this. Can you? Actually, wait a second. Hold on. The series might not end here. Got Carapace. Only just after +1 attack starts. This is only a 2cc build. Dude, if he had Burrow Bane or something like that, I'd actually believe. Because the Starport and the 3rd Command Center have both just started. I think, like, if you go... Yeah, maybe not Burrow, but 4th Hatchery would be really good. 3 mineral lines are now almost fully up. Rogue very starved for money at this stage. But yeah, Rogue really just hasn't looked confident in this series, has he, guys? Just too many odd little mistakes like that. Bane Bust was a bit half-baked. Getting caught by the bunker, very annoying, don't get me wrong. Like, it was kind of... I don't know if it was amazing planning or luck for Cure to go up that northern route, knowing there wouldn't be an Overlord seeing him coming or anything. But it just seemed very well planned out, didn't it? And, like, a lot of the time, these sort of openings, like a 2 barracks bunker pressure like that, doesn't necessarily put you ahead. It just messes up your opponent's game plan, throws them off their build. And they need to react very smoothly and calmly to an extremely unexpected situation to make it okay. And that's where most players fall apart. Yeah, Burrow's pretty nice. It just, when you're down like this, you know, you want to bank on something like Burrow to try and help you out. It could get you back in the game. We've only got 2 medevacs coming out. Most of his army's just going to walk across the map. I like that Q is pre-spread a little bit here as well. 10 Banes are morphing. Guess he just wants to set up those Banes on the front. Nice. Still no 4th Hatchery, though, for Rogue. I don't know how he hasn't even saturated his minerals. Okay, he's just planning to do a Carapace all-in. Oh, Rogue's just doing another all-in, guys. He's going to do a Bane Speed all-in with Carapace. Okay, Q is going to go for a double drop, so Rogue needs to split like a pack of units to deal with it. He's only got 3 Queens. Oh my gosh, what are you even... There's a tank. It's on the low ground. Massling Bane's going to come in from both sides, but he's got to wait for Bane Speed. He can't show his hand too early. He's going to go for it pre-Bane Speed. He's going to go for a Massling Carapace attack, essentially. Does get a good surround so far. Wow, those Marines getting surrounded so well. Dude, Rogue with a really nice timing. The Siege Tank just killed 17 plus Zerglings. It might have been even more than that by the end of it. Marines are coming home. Mauling Bane coming forwards across this map. It is not over. Oh my gosh, this was such a down and dirty move. It was so desperate for Rogue, but he's finding some really good damage now. Gets on top of the tank inside the main base as well. These Marines coming out in pretty good numbers, but the tank will fall. Oh, the Marines on the outside are going to deal with the Banelings. Nicely done. Lings, are they going to finally get overrun? I think they will by this Marine rally. Okay, finally holds on. 57 workers left against just 49 for Zerg. That should be a good enough hold. Man, I thought Rogue was going to find more damage there or get this SCVs on the natural. If he just had like 15 more Zerglings in that main, it would have been a game changer. But now with his 4th Hatchery just started, oh, it just gets harder and harder. Because look, double upgrades, +1 armor, +2 attacks on the way. 4 tech labs are building right now. So he's going to 9 barracks? I guess he accidentally built a 9th barracks? My lord, he's going to have so much stuff. I find it hilarious that after all of this, Cure is still 8-raxing, says Giant Orange. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. The fact that he's still 8-raxes after this early game, I'm like, well, he knows what's good. Hey, Pig, do you upload the replay packs to the Pigstarcraft? I haven't in a while because I haven't been there live casting them for a while. I often do. Sometimes I mean, it's not every replay. It's just the ones that I cast and stuff. But, oh, hold on. Yeah, it doesn't quite go over the top of it. You guys just remind me if there's any you want to see or, you know, just remind me about it. There's about 50,000 things, you know, you manage as a content creator. So I try to be pretty consistent with it, but I'll admit that I definitely am not. So if you guys ever have replays you want to see or something you want to see more of from me in the channels, just let me know. Oh, no, he just missed it. Oh, man, that would have been so nice. Oh, come on. Yeah, Rogue's not feeling it today, guys. He's got burrowed banelings. These ones aren't even burrowed. He's just continually walking across these burrowed banelings. Finally, Rogue does take a shot. Gets about 9 Marines there. Not bad, not bad. 3 Infestors are coming out. Hives on the way. But the upgrades right now, 1-1 to just +1 armor. And Cure miles ahead on the supply. 4th Command Center is coming in as well. What's really scary, guys, is once you get Marauders with Concussive and a good count of Widow Mines, Ling Bane just falls off a cliff in terms of efficiency. As Baneling's so unfortunate they didn't burrow there, but here we go. Ling Bane trying to roll forwards. Oh gosh, watch out for the Widow Mines. As what I'm saying is the Marauders can tank so well, and while your Lings and Banes clump up around them, that's where the Widow Mines find massive damage. As long as you don't let your Marines get hit by Banelings in big clumps, you're going to look so good here as Cure. Rogue tries to run this one Baneling out to the left side. More guys getting scanned down. Look at this, he's going to attack. Looks like he's thinking about attacking both sides at once. Man. Hydroden's on the way. Almost finished there. Ling Bane goes top left. Gonna be a nice 2-pronged pressure. I don't know how you hold on right now as Rogue. You're gonna need some Fungals from the gods. Problem is, Fungal doesn't do much damage, and you still need to wrap around these Marauders and kill them with Zerglings, which is so tough. Banelings need to block. He needs to block the Banelings. He does block those Widow Mines with those Banes. Very nicely done. But look at this position from Cure. Actually, really lovely positioning. Picks up most of the Marines. And he says, good luck dealing with this. I'm going to pick up and I'm going to drop in your main base. There are Queens there, but he's only got 5 Queens in total. Beautiful Fungal. Holy moly. Amazing double Fungal. Don't tell me he doesn't have enough to even win the fight. He doesn't have enough to even win the fight, even with those Fungals. I mean, Rogue's just so dead. If you're landing those Fungals and not winning the fight on either side of the map, well, there's just no way, mate. He's just outmanned, outgunned. Too far behind from the early game. And that's it. GG, well played. Oh my gosh. Just not Rogue's day, guys. He just looked a bit slow. Looked like his awareness wasn't there. And it's really unfortunate because I expected it to be a Protoss player with amazing builds to be 3-0ing him at some point in the tournament, like a classic or something maybe. But Cure getting a 3-0, so impressive for Cure. He played really good, really solid, really confident. I do love how quickly he walled off with that eBay depot there. Overall, just very well played by Cure. And I love the build picking, playing that kind of normal game 1, going into the mech game 2, and then doing this sneaky barracks assault here at the 5-minute mark. I mean, that was such a nasty little play, wasn't it? What did he get there at 3 minutes? Even before 3 minutes with 5 Marines in a bunker. That's really hard to deal with. Beautiful play here by Cure. GG, well played.